Lord Jesus, it is you who wakes me up every day.
Rest in peace to X, Double R, Rough Rider Rescue. Let's go.
Somebody tell the Lord I got 100 balls.
100 Moors.
I got 100 balls. Even my demi-goddess, goddess for the cause.
All my TikTok fam, I see you. See you, I see you. Instagram fam, I see you. Thanks for tuning in to the God Hour podcast. This is the big homie Demigod. Yeah, we here. It's a pleasure to be here today. And yo, the episodes has been getting a lot of views. I appreciate the exposure. I appreciate the sharing. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate people tuning in. People are curious. They want to know what this more money thing is about, what more science is about. And you know what I'm saying? I'm blessed to be able to have a platform to be able to bring the people up here, and so people could see, you know what I mean, exactly tap into exactly what they say is taboo, the information that they not giving the people, you know what I'm saying, the secrets that the secret societies be keeping. Like, we exposing all that on this show, but we doing it gradually and we doing it sexy. Like, we making it sexy to be intelligent. You know what I'm saying? We making it gangster to be knowledgeable, you know what I mean, instead of the other way around. You know what I mean? So I appreciate everybody coming through here. I'm going to touch on a few spills that I want to touch on, and then we could get into, you know, my invited guests and all that. First spill, you know what I'm saying, free, and when I say free these individuals, don't think that I support their lifestyles or I support their music, or because really it ain't even got nothing to do with that. It's just that they sleepy Moors, you know what I'm saying? And I represent all Moors, whether they sleepy or woke. So, you know what I'm saying? Free Young Thug, you know what I mean? And the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because when is the KKK going to get RICO charges? When are we going to have a mass investigation in every community in the United States on the Ku Klux Klan dealings? And not just the Ku Klux Klan, because a lot of people understand the Ku Klux Klan is not just the Ku Klux Klan. They are Masons, you know what I mean? They take sworn oaths and they build their societies as a Masonic society. So we gotta know and understand that these people are the same people locking up the young thugs and locking up the young brothers. So it's like a cat and mouse game, you know what I mean? It's all by design. So, you know, when are we gonna see the KKK being brought on charges of RICO and conspiracy charges on how they hire a lot of known KKK individuals in the police force? They hire a lot of KK individuals as corrections officers just in New York alone. You know what I'm saying? When my last bid, I was in Watertown, New York, and Watertown is like, that's like the breeding hub of the KKK. And all the corrections officers and these people that be coming out of these towns, they have their fraternities, and it's all based around race, and it's all based around racism. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta know and understand that when I say Free Young Thug, that, like I said, I'm not saying that I support their lifestyles. I'm not saying that I'm a fan of their music, because none of that is null and void when it comes to being a Moor. You feel what I'm saying? So we need to bring more light into what, you know, the game that's being played on us. The game is a cat and mouse game, cops and robbers. It's all by design. You know what I'm saying? They got people that come and drop guns in our communities. Just the other day, one of the young brothers in Mount Vernon told me that, you know what I'm saying, with some young strangers who came to our community and just pulled up on the block and just popped the trunk. And they had all the state-of-the-art weapons. You know what I'm saying? They had all the red beams and everything that they got new coming out that we not making in these communities. We don't make these guns in our communities. So they got to bring the guns in the communities somehow. You feel what I'm saying? So we gotta know and understand that everything that's happening to us is by design. We like rats in the maze. So they put the cheese in the middle and then they would just watch us. So that comes with money, you know what I'm saying? That comes with drugs, that comes with guns, that comes with diseases, that comes with all of that. You know what I'm saying? Every war is not fought to destroy your opponent. Some wars and a lot of wars is fought, smart wars is fought to keep your opponent domicile so you can control them and you can enslave them. And that's basically what we've been seeing ever since slavery. I mean, slavery, we still in slavery, like Kanye said. They took the cuffs off and they put them on the brains, you know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is, you know what I mean? So yeah, a lot of my music is gonna be coming and talking about the racial tension and divide between Moors and Caucasians, especially in the federal penitentiary, because my brothers is basically at war right now, you know what I'm saying, in the federal penitentiary. So on one side, we got to worry about the Mexicans, you know what I'm saying, and on the other side, we got to worry about the Aryan Brotherhood, you know what I mean? So we got to know and understand that people like Young Thug and the rest of our young brothers that get caught up, you know what I mean? Big shout out to Casanova, you know what I'm saying? That's one dude I'm definitely feeling his music, but another case in question, you know what I'm saying? How it's all by design, you know what I mean? So we need to talk about that. But to move on and slightly change the subject to my TikTok fam, you know what I mean? I really appreciate the TikTok love, man. The TikTok love is crazy. All my TikTok posts over 1,000, you know what I'm saying? I even got some 300,000, you know what I'm saying? And they really tapping in on TikTok, you know what I mean? So shout out to my TikTok fan. Keep tapping in, keep sharing that, you know what I mean? Keep sharing that, and keep the people around you aware of what we doing right here. You feel what I'm saying? We enlightening the people on some more science, and my TikTok fam definitely be in tune. Even the haters, though, I be having mad haters on my TikTok, man. You know what I'm saying? They not aware of the information, so it's like the truth is stranger than fiction. So it's like when they hear the truth, it's just like it's like watching a science fiction movie. You feel what I'm saying? So it's hard to believe because you've been lied to and you've been duped for so long, and you don't really believe that every time you work and you pay taxes, your taxes go to the Queen of England, France, and Rome. You know what I'm saying? Jubilee, Jubilum, and Jubilo. You know what I mean? So you got to understand what's really been going on. This has been going on for a minute. So I appreciate the trolls. You know what I mean? I appreciate the negative comments, especially on TikTok. Instagram, I don't really get too much negative comments, like, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? It's just people just watching and just like lurking and watching, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping you watching and listening to what I'm saying, but also going back and doing your own research, because a big part of the enlightenment and knowledge of self is reading and comprehension, conductive reasoning, being able to do your own conductive reason. A person could preach to you, person could teach you, person could quote stuff to you, person could tell you whatever, but you're not going to really believe it until you see it and feel it in your bones. You feel what I'm saying? Music is spiritual, and so is knowledge. Knowledge is spiritual. So you know you hear the truth when you hear the truth, if you in tune with yourself. If you in tune with yourself, you know you hearing the truth. So the trolls that do be on my TikTok, I be hard on y'all, because really I'm gonna let y'all know I'm still with the shits. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's love, peace, truth, justice, and freedom. But let me tell you, man, you know what I mean? Don't cross the line, you know what I'm saying? Be respectful and understand, like, all Moors is not playing. All Moors is not the same. I'm one of the Moors that's active. I'm active in the hood and I'm active in the community. So, you know what I'm saying? Just be mindful. If you want to ask me something, just ask me something. I'm not hard to find. I answer all my social media messages, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm a man, you know what I mean? I'm a God king, for one. So, you know what I mean? All the trolling and the negative comments don't really have to be if you inquire in the right way. But I want to bring a book up here. I want to show y'all this book. And this is the book that one of the elders. I'm always posting Taj Tariq Bey. You know what I'm saying? Taj Tariq Bey is one of the elders, and he be dropping that science. So anybody that really don't, you know what I'm saying, understand the way I'm bringing the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody articulate the knowledge different. We got different teachers, different enlighteners, you know what I mean? So if you don't understand what I'm bringing, then I advise you to go and follow Taj Tariq Bey. That's one of the Moors that is official. He's a Grand Sheikh, you know what I'm saying? Islam to the elder, a very good friend of mine. And yeah, so the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, get that book. I just showed you the cover. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you again. Get that book. Treaty of Peace and Friendship. The Constitution for the United States of North America. Brit Moor coat of arms. The Al Moroccan flag is the cover. And this is one of our Moorish American literature books. So it says a Moorish American Heritage Series Publications, MAHS, Moors, Order of the Round Table, Northwest of Mexham, Temple of the Moon and Sun. You heard? So you could go on Amazon or go to your local African bookstore and check it out. You feel what I'm saying? And we're going to give you a close-up of that joint real quick so you can see that. So the Treaty of Peace and Friendship will break down just with basic education, basic, you know what I'm saying, a 4th, 5th grade education. You could read the Treaty of Peace and Friendship and kind of get an idea where you've been duped. You know what I'm saying? You kind of get an idea of what took place and how it took place and where everything started to go wrong. You feel what I'm saying? But that peace treaty is the longest standing peace treaty today. But why? Why is that peace treaty the longest standing peace treaty today? Because that peace treaty is the reason why Europeans could come over here and do what they do. They a corporation, you know what I'm saying? The police force is a corporation. DMV is a corporation. You understand? The child support system, that's a corporation. None of those is part of the sovereignty of this country. You feel what I'm saying? The indigenous government of this country. That has nothing to do. Those are private situations. You know what I'm saying? Those are private situations that you at war and you're a prisoner at war. That's basically what it is. You're a prisoner of war. You know what I'm saying? The Negro, blacks, and coloreds are prisoners of war. So that's why they could come take your kids. When you sign your name, you give them jurisdiction. When you sign your name, Child Protective Services, when you sign your name on the birth certificate of your child, and then something happened, they could come take your child because you already gave them jurisdiction. Your signature is one of the most powerful things that you can give a person. So we got to know and under. They don't teach us this in school. So your signature is everything. What you putting your signature on is what you agreeing to. And a lot of us don't be reading these credit card applications. We don't read the DMV applications, the fine print. We don't read none of that. You know what I'm saying? We don't even read the birth certificate fine print. Mom's is hurt and she just had a baby. She trying to get up out of there. You know what I'm saying? But we got to start understanding what you're signing your name on, because your signature is your power. You understand? That's when you giving them jurisdiction and power over you. You feel me? So they can't take your kid if you don't give them jurisdiction. You feel me? They can't lock you up if you don't give them jurisdiction. Now we all know the European, he's going to do what he want to do, but you have a fighting chance when you don't give him jurisdiction. You have a fighting chance when you don't give them jurisdiction. You feel what I'm saying? They're going to do what they do regardless. You feel me? They're going to do what they do regardless. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up and let y'all know about that. But I'm about to bring my next guest up here, my first guest up here, and we're going to politic and build, you know what I'm saying, and enlighten the people just off conversation. So we here to start the conversation. This is the big homie Dibby God. And, yeah, I'll be right back with my guest, man. We back with the big homie. The God Hour podcast, 100 Moors. I got my Moorish Muslim brother in the building, William Frazier. Yo, thanks for coming through, bro. I really appreciate you. This platform is for brothers like you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So we could touch the community and get the word out about what we doing and how we feel our people is need to wake up. You feel me?
Without a question.
Indeed. So tell me a little background and let the people know a little background about yourself.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to explain to brothers that, I was incarcerated for 21 and a half years because a pig put his hands on me. I left him in a bad situation. They charged him with robbery. It was a fist fight. Because of my past criminal history, they made me a 3-time loser. Like I said, I did 21 and a half years for a crime that was never committed.
Wow.
But while incarcerated, of course, I learned the system, educated myself, and I learned what the political system is really about right now. Unfortunately, I left behind many brothers and sisters who don't know what's really going on. They have been indoctrinated to believe that society really, really, really is against them, when it's not really the case. This society is based on capitalism, so if you make yourself a part of a capitalist society, it will work for you.
That's a fact.
It works against us because it's not designed for us.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get incarcerated the first time, like myself as a young man, you don't know the system. You get out as fast as possible. You make whatever deals you can with these people who are actually your captors. Our ancestors were kidnapped and brought here. The prison system is an extension of slavery that people don't even realize how it really works.
Mm-hmm.
So we become caught up. Like most young men and women, I went to prison the first time, and I was lauded and given accolades for being a certain type of criminal. My first crime was against a bunch of white men. They attacked me and my comrade while we was coming from work at Yonkers Raceway.
Wow.
My first time ever cut anybody with a razor, I cut several white men with a razor at 16 years old, went to jail, and was given 6 and 5 like most people get. I copped to that, I get out of jail, cool, now I have this felony on my record. Came home, but in the streets, I was looked at as a hero.
A hero. The Haru.
No question.
That's
Amongst
a fact.
the thugs and the people in the hood, I was looked at a certain way. So now I was given carte blanche. In prison, I was given a pass. Here's the brother that cut up them white dudes. So I was lauded, and I came home, and that became my identity.
Wow.
I was in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
I was very well educated and sharp, but adults seeing what I was instead of grooming me for success, grew me to be a super criminal, which is what I became. Then, after that, you know how it works. The streets eat you up. It takes our best. So I became a guy who was at the top of the food chain, couldn't be harmed in the streets unless you were willing to kill me. But I was like the Klan in the black neighborhood because ain't no Klansmen came through the Bronx or Yonkers or Brooklyn and did nothing to nobody. I did, though.
That's a
So
fact.
now, went to prison the second time. Can't do nothing to me. I'm the God amongst men. What are you going to do to me now? Nothing at all. So now I'm thriving in the worst possible scenario. Instead of being worried about being in jail, the weaker had to worry about me when they got to jail.
Wow.
I got through the stepping stones,
Mm-hmm.
got home. Now I'm in the streets. Moved to Brooklyn. I'm in the streets doing what I do. But I'm really, in my mind, I am beyond the Pharaoh because I have a group of killers just like me, and we are doing whatever we want to do in the streets during the Giuliani era. So, of course.
I remember that era. That was a crazy
So,
era
of
of New
course,
York.
You know, we're running around. We're the worst thing in the world because young men and women want to be us. And then they got real smart, and it became the super crack era. We started shooting each other and killing each other at random, the highest murder rate in the history of New York State. We didn't pay attention to it, though, because we were indoctrinated to think that prison was okay.
That's a fact.
I stopped, though. I gained real knowledge of self and started learning the financial systems. White men taught me how to steal, and I learned the difference. But I had one thing that could not be gotten rid of, a criminal history. So when I caught a crime this time, they didn't matter whether I was guilty or innocent. I was in handcuffs. Now we got you because you've been enslaved to your own mentality for all these years. So now we can put you back on the plantation forever. And I went back in the prison system, and I thought that was where I was supposed to stay. Received further enlightenment, changed, my spiritual base changed. So now I'm in prison like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You're going to learn the system now. And I learned this system. I learned my rights. I learned the Constitution. I learned the law. And I got back in the court system and said, I refuse to die here on this plantation. I need to give this information to other people. And I was blessed with the ability to get out. Now that I'm out, my mind frame is different. I understand where brothers like you come from. If you get out and all you're doing is spinning your wheels in society, you're not educating nobody else, you're setting yourself up and the community for failure. We give accolades and praise to individuals for doing time.
For doing negative, period. For doing the monster. Yo, he's on demon time. Yo, that's my man.
Beast.
He's a beast.
Think about that.
Yeah.
And we think that's okay.
We think that's okay.
So when our kids look at us and see us doing the wrong thing but making money, how can we tell them not to look at influencers on TikTok, all types of social media? We have young women who look at Cardi B as an inspiration. There's nothing wrong with that. I respect what she's done for herself. Mm-hmm. But Cardi B is a married young black woman with a child, or more than one child possibly, and she's telling chicks that she should have a man hit that thing in the back of her throat. Think about that. Megan Thee Stallion, these are young women who have relationships telling other young women, go get naked, shake your ass, get a man to like you.
That's a fact. By design.
By design.
By design.
Chance the Rapper, Most Def, Talib Kweli, Tariq from the Roots. These are great artists. When's the last time you heard any of their music? We know who they are. Young men don't. They know more about my story I just told you than they do about the most educated young men we have. So the key, what I'm saying is this. My story is a thing of beauty if looked at in the right way. I need to tell young men and women, I went through everything you could ever imagine, but the path I'm on right now is to stop you from going through it. You don't have to go to jail. You don't have to get shot. You don't have to shoot nobody, because we do more damage in our neighborhoods than every militant white extremist organization.
That's a fact.
Ain't no way in the world that in Chicago we got a higher murder rate than Iraq. People that we know that look just like us kill more black people than white people died in Ukraine right now.
But why? Let's bring that to the forefront. I think that the reason why is because like I said, we the only people on the planet that's the most domicile mentally. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk about Willie Lynch syndrome, and we talk about Stockholm syndrome, where they love the European. You feel me? What I'm saying? I remember when coming up in the prison system when I was young. I grew up in the prison system, and coming up, it was like dudes used to get smacked by the European police. You know what I'm saying? European police are smacked. The most tough dude. The ones walking around, he got everybody scared, but police are smacking me, he won't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then another young brother probably come through, he don't mean no harm to nobody. He just looking because probably scared. And he probably looked at him wrong. And now he's stabbing him or fighting him or extorting him.
Killing him.
Yeah. Early. But I ain't allow that. Not in my house. Everywhere I went, not in my house. And I was in the CAC, I was in Comstock, I was in Green, I was in Washington, and I'm on your vibe. God King vibe. That's not happening.
The energy that we always saw. When I first met you, that's the energy I picked up on.
That's a fact.
Exactly what I was telling the young comrade. He was like, I told you all of that. He's not telling you nothing new. The energy we have to have, even behind bars, this is a plantation, man. This whole country is a plantation.
Plantation.
You do not belong here. You were not meant to be here. You come from kings and queens.
That's a fact.
You are not a slave.
That's a
you
fact.
are not meant to be
treated as such.
And treated to leftovers. The food we love the most is garbage.
Food we love the most is garbage.
We've been trained to think
garbage.
The garbage that they let us have is the
good.
Best thing you can eat. That has sunk into our souls. That has made our kids hate us if we don't give it to them. Everything that they do to us is well planned out. One person becomes a billionaire. The rest of you admire him. He is in the house. He is doing good. I love the fact that young men and women can make millions and billions of dollars in this country, but I hate the fact that as soon as they make it, they're no longer able to be militants. An activist in this country has to be somebody who's willing to lose everything.
That's a fact.
If you're not willing to lose everything, you can only go so far.
That's also by design, though. Like,
absolutely.
And I don't put nothing past. It goes, the rabbit hole goes so deep, man. I don't put nothing past them, man. You feel me? Like the bloodline conspiracy with all the presidents being related to Alexander the Great and all that. All this by design. The Mark Zuckerbergs, these people are being picked to being put in the position to bring about a new technology or a new fashion or a new fad.
I got a
you
question.
Feel what I'm saying?
And I want people that's listening to this, that watch this podcast, to go look this up. I want you to look up how many relatives George Bush and Barack Obama have in common. How many relatives Barack Obama and Cheney had in common. This is not a bunch of strangers knocking each other off. The one thing that we never paid attention to, Donald Trump became president because the powerful rich people put him in a powerful rich position. He didn't understand how the country works. While we were watching the circus and calling him a clown, he was the ringmaster. He changed the friggin' Supreme Court, man. He has a supermajority in the Supreme Court. As we speak right now, in this country right now, they're doing something that nobody's really paying attention to, especially brown folks. They're beefing about the abortion rights joint that leaked. You never heard that before. A Supreme Court thing leaked, really? They want to see how much beef there's going to be, what these women are really willing to do about this, because this is a test. This is the first attack on the Constitution. If they get rid of this, what's next? Everybody's looking at it the wrong way. Abortion rights have nothing to do with brown folks. Abortion rights, and if you listen to me very carefully, if we're the minority and they stop people from having abortions, there will be more Caucasian children born.
That's what they think.
And initially it'll be a fact. As you educate more women about taking care of their bodies,
exactly,
it won't become an issue.
I got a fact. It's a fact that we lose in 1 year through abortions. We lose more brown babies, which are doctors. Remember, these brown babies were our future doctors, absolutely, our future nation builders, our future scientists, our future Moorish doctor. I said doctors, dentists. These is we losing them in 1 year. We lose more than the Civil War has lost in the whole Civil War. In 1 year, that's how many brown babies are aborted. Now, what if that stops? What if brown babies aren't aborted no more, and that's against the law? You gotta have that brown baby. Now, they got a problem.
But see, here's the thing, though.
They'll eradicate. They'll probably find another way to try to eradicate us.
There's a black woman in charge of Planned Parenthood right now who doesn't understand what it was designed for initially.
Oh my God!
Eugenics is not something that's taught anywhere. Nobody knows who Margaret Sanger was. Nobody knows who started Planned Parenthood. So the idea that they're fighting for their reproductive rights is what they're putting in the forefront. This is much deeper than that. Like I said, for every black young woman who's having an abortion, there's 7 white girls.
Let's change the narrative. Let's change the narrative, because I know I got the Moors watching. Absolutely. So let's change the narrative and stop saying black and say Moorish, and stop saying white and say Caucasian or European, because when we call them white, we kind of calling them our gods, because white in the Webster Dictionary to us in our mind is pure, happy, love. You know what I'm saying? So we giving them too much props when they the direct opposite. They really the black ones and we really the white ones.
Well, truth be told, I try to tell people all the time, and I teach this to children. I don't care about white supremacy, because if you believe in that, you believe in black inferiority.
That's a fact.
So they can have that, because I believe in black superiority.
That's their story.
Yeah, I believe in black superiority, and I'm good with that.
That's their story.
White supremacy, okay, cool. I believe in black supremacy. I got my, So critical race theory, which they're trying to take out of schools, is the actual factual study of history of this country, not the rest of the world, this country. They want to take out the derogatory statements about the slave trade. They say it causes harm to Caucasian children. I think that's the most ridiculous thing ever said.
They got a design. They got a plan on why they're doing that. Remember, when they do something, they didn't count. They didn't cross their T's and dotted their I's.
Blanking out history means that only in HBCUs will that type of stuff be taught. But they're already attacking abortion rights. They went after abortion rights first. No, they didn't. They failed recently on Brown versus the Board of Education, and people don't know that. They just failed on that because we're so busy talking about other stuff. The Voters' Rights Act is the one thing that we have to start really pressing on people. As ex-convicts, I go around telling dudes, if you don't vote, I really don't want to talk to you, because the only way for you to have a voice, especially as an ex-convict, is to know that your local politicians dictate the water you drink, the roads you drive on, the gas prices, the schools your kids go to. Not the president. They got you brainwashed. Your local politicians. I'd be willing to pay, brothers, if you can tell me the name of your city councilman, your deputy mayor, and your police commissioner, and the congressman for this area. I walk up on dudes all the time. You want what? Some change? Tell me the names of your 4 local politicians right now. I'll give you $20. I ain't getting that $20 up yet, man. I do it every day for the last 6 months. I ain't gave that $20 up yet, man. I do it to squares, bums, all types of people. They be like, they might get 2 out of 5 local politicians. They beating us because we worry about all the wrong stuff. There's no way you can live in public housing for 5 generations and you've been through millions of dollars in property, but you ain't bought no property.
Wow.
What are you talking about? You can't bury your grandmother. How many people done passed the hat around to bury their sister, brother, cousin? Jimmy got shot. We bought $300 worth of shirts and went to the funeral. $400 worth of nails and hair. $1,000 worth of wigs.
Mm-hmm.
He's being cremated. We can't even afford to have a good funeral, but we driving Benzes. We go to McDonald's. We buy Mercedes. We buy all these other family stuff.
That's a fact. And these things is named after Europeans.
Families.
The same European families who got rich off the slave trade. Who got rich off of, because in Moorish science, we teach that America is Africa. You know what I'm saying? So when you're standing on America, you're standing on Africa. America means Morocco in Moorish Latin. I keep telling y'all that. So really, they try to tell you the story about the slaves and the slave ships, but where them slave ships at? How come we ain't got no museums with slave ships? Where are all these slave ships? You transfer all these millions of Africans into America. Cut it out. Stop it. Only,
we were here.
I said 20 to 25%, but one of my Moorish eldest sisters, I seen her video, somebody sent it to me, and I stand corrected. She said only 3 to 6%. Maybe even 7% of the slaves came from Africa. Absolutely. They enslaved the people that was already here, and we was more. So when they push this, also, I want to say that when they push this black agenda, they hired people like James Brown and other people of our culture, pop culture, to bring in the black and white thing. The black and white thing is a Western philosophy. That's not a philosophy that's been going on through thousands of years. Our people didn't look at colors of skin. We didn't call each other black and white and crayons because we not crayons. So we got to know and understand that when they have us saying black, it's only to lawfully do what they can do to us. That's the only reason why they have us calling ourselves black. Because when you go to the Black Laws Dictionary, as far as law is concerned, we talking about law. We're not talking about the cosmology of the people. And I'm going to quote the elder Taj Tariq Bey, as I always do, and pay respects to what he said, is when you're talking about the cosmology of a people, then you could say, okay, we're black. Okay, the cosmology. But that's not helping us. That's not helping us build no finance. That's not helping us get rid of them birth certificates where they've tricked our mothers into signing the birth certificates. That's not getting us free. So ultimately, what we need to do is change our thinking, change the way we see ourselves, start living in love and light, and seeing ourselves as Moors. I don't care if you Hebrew. I don't care if you Israelite. I don't care if you're a Moor. I don't care where you from. If your skin get dark in the sun, that means you are from a particular type of people from a particular part of the earth. And that's point blank, period. You feel me? So I'm going to say it again. Whether you light skin, whether you yellow, whether you're dark, whether you're brown. If you go in the sun and your skin get brown, that means your DNA and your genes come from a particular type of people from a particular part of the earth.
Melanated people.
Melanated people.
Here's the problem we have, right? And I'm going to give you the terms. If you look into the constitutional breakdowns and the rules and regulations of this country, and people have to forget this because there's people alive that start to suffer through this. We always hear the term mulatto, and we make jokes about it because Monique made jokes about it, Black Aricans and Blackanese. Well, you had categorizations based on how much white you had. Octoroons, quadroons, septoroons, all the way back, because at the start, they looked at melanated people as only, I think, 1/5 human.
Of course.
So now, you got to go back to the term, what was first traded on the New York Stock Exchange?
The Moors.
Now, people don't understand what that really,
That's why they call it Wall Street.
Wall Street was the ferry where they brought the people there and they traded live stock, which was people.
People. The first stocks on Wall Street were people that look like you and me, brown people.
So when I tell people there's a reason why reparations can be easily traced, there's a reason why if you have a spiritual base, you have to understand this is not about our ideological differences. This is about the fact that if you don't love me as a melanated person and know that our ancestry is the same, we're never going to get nowhere, because I'll get rich and not care that you're broke, not realize that the term housing project was not meant to be permanent, that we are part of the final solution for this society because we weren't meant to be here. The Constitution was written for and by our owners. So all the amendments that came after were stopgaps. Everybody talks about Abraham Lincoln freeing the slaves. Well, that's a misnomer, because initially the whole thing was
He said if I could unite the South and the North without freeing the slaves, I would
do it. Later on, when he realized just how detrimental to the human soul it was, other people had to show him what was really going on. It was a political issue for him at first. It became.
But I think that he had no choice, because
Well, at that
the
point,
soldiers, he was running out of soldiers, and he needed to free the Moors so the Moors could fight for
here's the
him.
thing, it wasn't that he was running out of soldiers. Here's the thing. Have you ever seen, right now the Ukraine, they're at war, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Russia doesn't want to run in there and take them over. When you fighting for what you believe is your freedom and your family and your home, you fight different.
That's a fact.
Them country boys was killing up everything. So they knew the only way to combat them was to give somebody who had more to fight for, the Moors, more to fight for.
That's
You see?
It's long.
You see? So
it's long, Moor.
this is what he did. He knew the science behind who wants this more. Holy wars are the best wars. You told these people, we will free you. He was their God. He was Pharaoh.
And believe it or not, Abraham Lincoln's mother was a Moor.
And that's the part nobody wants to talk about.
Abraham Lincoln's mother was brown. Y'all call black, Negro, colored, but no.
The problem we have is
She was a
people
Moor.
look at history differently. I tell people, I don't want to get caught up into what you believe versus what we got to do. We got to start knowing that the uneducated need to be told to sit down and shut up, get out the way, and let those of us who know a little bit about what we need to do fix this problem for your babies. Because that's my.
I also feel like too, that we gonna have to eliminate the individuals that's selling us out. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's mad individuals selling us out. You know what I mean?
1,000 miles a minute.
1,000 miles a minute selling us out. They know what's going on. They know the birth certificate is a bond. They know that, you know what I'm saying? They know that the birth certificate is a bond. They know that black people in law are Moors, and they know that George Washington made a peace treaty with Morocco, the Sultan of Morocco, and the Sultan of Morocco was like, yo, I need you to free my people. You know what I'm saying? And George Washington is like, yeah, I'm gonna free the people. But when he came over here, he didn't free the people. He didn't tell the people that they was free, but it's in the peace treaty.
Of course it is.
So freedom starts with the peace treaty. We start with the peace treaty because we're talking about the empire of Morocco superseding the kingdom of Morocco. The kingdom of Morocco is what we're looking at right now. But there was an empire that's directly connected to the Kemetic Empire, which stretched from California to Egypt.
Here's the problem you have with that, right? And that's why I tell people you can't get into our ideological differences. You're talking about reparations that go back all the way to something that's tangible. You can't sit down with a bunch of people that they so busy sitting in front of the projects and smoking weed all day and listening to, jigaboo music because they just want to be cool. You can't sit down with them and tell them, you might have to give all this up, man. They're going to take some stuff from us, man. But we're going to be able to have the property. The 40 acres of the mule that we were literally promised, I can get that for you. But you have to give up these liberties under their constitution.
That's a fact.
That's a ridiculous concept to somebody who wants to own a Mercedes, live in the projects, have 4 baby mamas that don't take care of them. You sound crazy to him. But you've been behind bars. You've seen a brother go from literally uneducated with nothing to forge from fire and steel, ready to come home and take care of the babies. And a whole lot of them is stuck up in the mountains because they're not letting those guys out. Those guys are going to their 3rd, 4th, 5th parole boards for crimes took place when they were 16 and 17. Not murders or rapes. Robberies. They might have shot somebody else in the hood. They're making it look like these guys who are super educated, who need to be back in society. Look, what I did was dead wrong, and I'm trying to make amends for that. No, they're not letting them out. No. You got crackheads, man, who committed 3 petty crimes but didn't know no better. They messed around and went to trial for that last robbery because they bust, Otis in the head. Been in jail for 30 years.
That's a fact. But let's take it even further. Let's take it to the political prisoners. The political prisoners that they still have locked down.
Williams' grandson is still locked up right now.
That's a fact, and
nobody knows what he's in jail for.
I think it's a travesty. I don't understand how people don't understand that we prisoners of war and we're at war. Even our women don't understand that we at war. You know what I'm saying? Our women don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Our women,
some of them do.
No, some of them do. I'm not going to small amount of them do, and those are the sisters that brothers like us need to amalgamate with, you know what I mean? Because I'm at war right now, you know what I mean? When it comes to sending my kid to school, I'm like, I'm not sending my kid to school. I'm homeschooling my kid.
See, you're younger than me.
You know what I'm saying?
You may not know this, but I can prove that you've been at war. A president told you was at war. Richard Nixon declared war on drugs, and they ain't invade Panama. Well, they invaded Panama later, but he did not invade none of them places they were selling drugs at. He did not go to war with them people.
That's distributing the drugs to here.
Locking up everybody.
Here. That look like me and you.
How could you be locking up people in the ghetto? Because they destroyed the dope kingpins back then in the 70s and 80s. Because them dudes was making empires. They were millionaires. That's why they show movies about that. They destroyed them. They don't show Percy Sutton on TV. They show Freeway Ricky Ross. They don't show, Oprah Winfrey's rise to entertainment mogul. They show Cardi B. They don't show people who did the right thing in the black community.
Oh no, they pump. That's what they do. So the programming, the TV is the programming.
Absolutely.
So if they show somebody wearing a certain clothes, all of a sudden you got 30,000 dudes going out to buy what that person was wearing on TV. Right. How could you be a robot? Like, how could you be a zombie like that? I can never. We zombies, B.
You were a kid.
Zombies, biting, man.
If you bit somebody's stuff, that was unheard of. The Wu made a statement about that. Yo, get your own shit, man. Stop biting out. And it was funny.
Wu-Tang, Peace of the Gods.
We rocked with that. Like, from all the way back in the days when people, don't bite. Be original.
Be original.
No. Being original is what led them to see that we are so gifted. We made a business out of nothing. We made a way of life out of what we do every day. And they co-opted it, turned it back around, dumbed it down, and said, this is how you should do this if you want to make money.
Not only that, but they invested in the prisons.
Absolutely.
And say, okay, now we're going to start making music that's going to promote criminality. Yeah. So now we're getting our bread buttered on both sides. We're getting money from the prisons and we're getting money from the music. and whatever else type of entertainment media period.
Control neither one.
Every time they depict us on TV, we looking crazy. You don't never see a strong
There's one
melanin man
out of 20
intelligent.
They put something like Blackish out. It got to be a comedy.
Got to be a comedy.
Or he's like a fireman or Chicago Hope.
Yeah.
There's that, there's those 5
So
black guys.
one guy.
But there's 50 black chicks twerking right now in your phone right now. Your computer got thousands of black women.
They push it. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter,
Snapchat.
all of them, Snapchat. Even if you don't follow and look at these models, they pushing it to your feed. It's there.
It's there.
So even if you do make a mistake, that's a mistake you might regret. Cause you feel me? You might click on it by mistake. Now you got flooded nothing but booty in your feed.
It's there all day.
The young brothers who's posting on Facebook, I look at they posts, I'm like, yo, how come? I know he got 5,000 followers, friends on Facebook. How come nobody posting on? But a female posts with her butt out. You think the algorithms? You don't think they programming this thing to push that thing?
Absolutely.
You don't think they dumbing my posts down? You don't think when they see my posts, they not letting people see my posts? They stopping my posts?
Whenever I post something that's positive to somebody else, I always put think. Now, you know what the think is for real. I don't want to get into that right now.
But I ain't even, hold on. I want to say this to y'all, man, out there. Even when I post, it's a travesty, though, when I don't see comments and likes on the positive and constructive things that I post. But when I post some ignorant, or I post a female, or I post something that's just outlandishly ignorant, 5,000 likes.
Early.
5,000 views,
Right.
mad comments. Come on, that's corny. Change the narrative. So is it y'all that's not clicking, or is it Instagram that's just not showing? When the post is positive, they don't show it to. I do know that. The algorithms is not pushing the positive posts out.
Unless people press the issue. I know some sites you can see them yourself where people not trying to hear it. These people have real content about serious stuff, but you gotta push the post. You gotta push the content.
You got to push the issue.
If you don't got that 500 people that's pushing the content, it's not gonna go nowhere.
That's a fact.
That's what they're looking for. Do you have 500 hard? That's what you need. 500 hardcore people. I told people I don't need followers. I'm looking for some leaders, man. People to walk with me.
That's a fact.
So my posts were for a purpose. Had the carry with the hoodie, man. I know you've seen it.
Yeah, I love that.
My thing is, I want people to understand, I don't need you to see me to understand that I want to represent those people who don't have a voice, who don't have a face, that you don't know about, that are down and out and messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got a platform now from people that believe in me, not my product, me. I sold myself by being diligent and showing since I came home, this is what I'm really on. And it surprises me sometimes because
I'm proud of you, though.
I just been honest.
I'm proud of you,
I told you, like,
yeah, I'm proud of you.
You telling me, yo, I've been telling you that. I said no, but so for some reason, I'm kind of entertaining because I'm just raw.
Yeah.
So people get a kick out of me saying stuff like, nah, you don't know what it's like. You be in the bathroom and then dudes be in there doing crazy stuff. They be deuced up. And you be in there, you got like 18 years, you trying to get home. And somebody just passes out in the bathroom, starts shaking like a fish. You step right over him. You go use the bathroom.
And you go back to your
to your business because you
fact.
don't want no parts of that smoke. But if they come at you sideways, you get them all the fire they're looking for.
That's a
I
fact.
don't want no smoke, but I got plenty of fire. You have to stay like that because in society, when I got out, I went right into the shelter around them same dudes. In the middle of COVID, they smoking deuce and passing out. And it was so funny to be like, look, it's the same thing out here. Ain't nothing different.
All y'all do smoking that deuce, man. Y'all can't be serious. That's synthetic marijuana. Come on, smarten up, man.
Puff death.
Smarten up. So what you doing now, though? I know you're doing some political things. I know you're an artist.
Well, yeah, not for nothing, man. I'm waiting to see what they do with these primary stuff. The brothers got me. They allow me to work with them on occasion, but I work in a pantry, man, in White Plains, and it's such a good feeling, man.
That's dope.
Then every other week, I actually deliver food to people that are homebound. I found a sense of purpose, man. I don't need to make a lot of money.
That's dope.
I don't need to be around dudes that's really getting to it. Because I tell people, my man, I know people that's getting to the bag every day. They're like, what? Yeah, they get to the bag every day, man. Bars and gates, homeboy. Bars.
Bars and gates.
And they in the
The
bag.
bag.
Right now.
That's the bag. Oh, that's you just gave me. He said bars and gates, man. Like the trap is a trap, and they just don't know.
Absolutely.
Bag. You want the bag? Everybody want the bag. The bars and gates. That's another thing I want to talk about too. Everybody asking me about the bag, asking me about the birth certificate, or how can I get my $1 million? Yo, see, but that's not the wrong mentality. That's the wrong mentality to have. You supposed to be trying to get the bag without that birth certificate. You supposed to be owning land. You supposed to be setting up your family, breaking generational curses. Building generational wealth. You know what I'm saying? That's what we need to be on. Not sending our kids to no institutions. We need to cut all institutions with the United States. The corporation. That means no schools. We don't go into y'all for nothing. We got our own farms. We need our own clothes. We need to make. The brother Killer Mike, he did the special where he was buy black and everything.
Greenwood, man.
Yeah.
Greenwood,
and that was
Look it
dope.
up.
And he couldn't find a lot of stuff. If he was to survive on just Moorish made things, we don't make a lot of stuff. We don't make a lot of things to compete with these Europeans. And he brought that out to light. So really, we need to start owning more, man. We need to, like I said, sever ties with these institutions, because there's going to come a time in society, and it's going to be coming real soon, where if you're not with a collective, if you're not with your family, if you don't have a team, you will not survive. Right now, they in court fighting for the sovereignty of the United States, and that's what's going on right now. They fighting for the sovereignty of what's going on. So really, they setting us up for failure, like you said. They trying to put this one world government, right? They trying to take rights from people, right? So now, when things like the Corona happen, which will happen again, because they constantly recycling the diseases, creating the diseases and putting in the community. There's a good book that you could get called Medical Apartheid. Look for that book. Very thick book, but that book right there sets precedence as far as the diseases and how they get in our communities and how they're manufactured and generated. But very soon, the supermarkets, all of these things are going to be scarce. Food is going to be scarce. Water is going to be scarce. And they're going to be it's going to be by design. By design.
Let me ask you a question. How many people in your family you think know how to grow enough food to feed themselves for the next year?
Maybe two. How many
people in your
all
family
women
know how to go out right now with what they can find outside? Not what they got in the house, but they can go outside and find and hunt down enough protein-based stuff to feed the family. If you had to go catch something to eat, what would you do? And we ain't even paying attention to the fact we're supposed to be the best on the planet at that. Our people is over there right now doing it every day. It's people walking around right now that if they cut off their welfare check and told them they couldn't get a job for the next year, they'd be in the streets panhandling. If they made that illegal, what would you do?
What would you do?
How
will we survive? That's why I'm with the nation building, man. A lot of people don't understand. You know, we're going to talk about the topic of polygamy when we get further on in the show. I'm going to have some polygamy guests come up here. I'm going to have some polygamy families come up here. But I'm with nation building. I'm with polygamy. I'm with the collective. I know a lot of people aren't emotionally mature enough for polygamy and the poly lifestyle. But you have to, I mean, it's just like with anything else. There's a lot of people emotionally not. There's a lot of people that's not emotionally mature enough for monogamy. So
be very clear.
Let's be very clear.
I'm glad you said that.
Let's be very clear. And let's be very clear that monogamy is not monogamy. It's really serial monogamy, because monogamy is meeting one person in your life, having sex with that person one time, and staying with that person until death. That's monogamy. That's not what we doing in Western society. We doing serial monogamy, where you go from one person to one person to one person, and you collect souls and you collect energy. That's what we doing.
See, but the problem with that is, once again, you have to make people understand, and this goes to anybody who's heard me say this before and those who haven't. It's part of my faith to believe in polygamy, unequivocally. I personally am not at the point right now where I am capable of maintaining that. But if I do get to that point, I know I can do it because it's a natural way of things. Me personally,
that's a fact,
am not at the point in my life where that's feasible for me at this moment. So, and I always tell people that please understand the rules and regulations of a thing. Society should have rules and regulations that are ironclad. A man of principle is going to be that all the time. A woman of principle is going to be that all the time.
All the time.
Whether they're dealing with one person
Or
or more than one. So now, if you meet a wonderful man and you know your friend has no man, and this guy is deadly serious, takes care of his business, he's financially set up and spiritually well, you wouldn't want your friend to have a guy like that? You'd want her to be out drifting and dealing with deadheads and lames, knowing that this guy could take care of both of you.
She want one up on her friend. She want to know, yo, my man is dope. You see my man?
This is what
she want one up on her friend.
Monogamous societies. And I tell people, please don't get my spiritual walk confused with my knowledge of the realities of life. Ain't no black folks in this society, ain't no African folks in this society who was raised here understanding that they're training you to be promiscuous and have bastard children.
Training you. That's what monogamy do. That's all we've been doing. Going from one person to one person. He have two kids. He break up with her. Go get another baby mother. Have another kid.
My grandparents were groomed to stay together at all costs.
By any means necessary.
And that's beautiful if that's what you on. You see, I believe in that foundation, especially for us here, because we need that.
The collective.
Right now, we don't have that, so we got to reevaluate. Okay, you know what? He got 4 baby mamas anyway. What are we doing with that? Like,
what are we building?
He got 4 baby mamas, and each one of those baby mamas got a baby by somebody else. What are we doing? You can't even get the finances right. They can't even inherit properly.
Yo, this show right here. Yo, how much time we got left, Moor? This show right here has been deep. You know what I'm saying? We really build. I'm thanking everybody from tuning in, Instagram tuning in crazy. You know what I'm saying? TikTok tuning in crazy. This the big homie, man. Thanks for coming through. You know what I'm saying? You got to come back.
I'll be in
You know what I mean?
Man.
That's a fact. You know what I mean? Keep doing what you're doing out there. Absolutely. You in Yonkers, right? You based in Yonkers?
I'm in Mount Vernon now.
Mount Vernon?
From Yonkers, though.
But what the political work you're doing is
all over.
Okay, Westchester.
When they call me, man, I'm there, man.
You're there. That's a fact. So that's what's up. He in the community heavy. He's one of the big homies, you know what I'm saying? So I had to bring him up here. And thanks for tuning in.
And if your big homie ain't feeding your people, he's not your big homie. He's just some other dude claiming what you claim.
That's a fact. You heard that? Islam, 100 Moors. Moors rise up. I'ma holla at y'all. The big homie. God Owl Podcast. Peace. Thanks for tuning in the second half to the God Owls Podcast. 100 Moors. This your big homie, Demigod. And this is the house of independent artists. I got a very good independent artist from around my way.
Yeah.
Sleaze.
Yeah. How you doing? How's it going?
How's it going, my G's?
Good.
He asked me to come up here like every day he see me. I need to be up there.
Why am I not?
So now you up here, man.
Hey,
and
why am I not up here?
We got you up here. So now you're gonna be able to, yeah, exactly.
This is right where I belong.
So tell us what you aspiring to do. Your music. I heard your music, man, and I watch your development.
Yeah, you've seen it all.
It's beautiful. I can't lie.
Beginning of it.
That's a fact.
To now.
That's a fact. But let the people introduce yourself. Let the people know.
My name is Lord Vondis, LV, but they call me Sleaze around the way. You know. Sleaze, man. You know, Sleaze old Griezo. And like, why you call him that? The name speaks for itself. All right, it speaks for itself. I'll do you greasy.
How long you been active writing?
I've been writing music since this is coming up on the 20th year now. God's anniversary is coming up. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird. Like, this is the 20th season coming up. Like Tom Brady.
So what inspired the name though?
The name is like, Lord Vondis or Sleaze?
Lord Vondis.
Lord Vondis is like the plug to God. You know, Vondis was the dude, remember, like that sat in the diner on the wire, the dude with the jalopy hat, you know, but you had to go see him to get to work. You know what I'm saying? So, but like, it's like you gotta come listen to my music to get God's word. I'm gonna plug to God. You wanna hear what God
I feel that.
You wanna hear what God this is what God would say in this situation.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Fact,
So
yeah.
that's what I mean.
That's what inspired the name?
Yeah.
That's dope. That's
plug.
dope. That's dope. So what you inspiring to do now? Like right now, with how many projects you got going on? And
I'm about to put out my main project. Okay. People see like I've been in the shadows all of this time. But I've been working. All right. So like I just wanted to always have my situation to where I can control it. Nobody else gonna control my destiny other than Allah. You know this. We know each other.
Exactly.
So like people put themselves in situations where Satan could control a situation because they're willing to take anything or do anything. I wasn't willing to do that. So now I got myself situated to where I'm setting it up to where I can be the boss. I'm my boss. All the proceeds go to me.
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I'm not really here to work for
promote that
anybody
here.
other than
That's
God.
what we all about.
You know, I work for God. That's it. I don't work for anyone else. Not no person.
I respect that.
You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
but yeah, the name of the project is called Allah's Slave. You know what I mean? Word.
That's powerful.
Word. So it's almost done. I'm just really waiting to touch it up with the mixing and mastering. As far as the records is concerned, the records is all in pocket. We ready to go, baby.
So how many joints you gonna have on that joint?
I gotta ask my advisors how many we should come with, because if you want, it depends on what you want. Should I come with 18? Should you want me to come with 15,
there's an EP
12?
and there's an LP. So, usually EPs is like 7 or 8 songs.
Records. So I got those 8 records right now ready to go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they ready
And
to
the
go.
LP is something different. That's
About
a
16.
major big project.
Well, I'm ready to do either one. You one of those advisors I was speaking about. So we'll talk about it later.
Big homie. That's what it is.
We'll talk about it later.
But plug the people into your social media and all that so
My
they can
joint is
check you out.
Sleezo Grizo. That's it. At Sleezo Grizo. A lot of people already in Westchester know me and my page anyway, because I'm on there like making people laugh right now. The music is coming actually this week. Like I'm about to hit you with a whole.
So what you doing? Some comedy? Like you making people laugh?
Yeah, like this is the thing. I found a way to like relieve my stresses throughout my day by making other people laugh about the shit I go through. It's funny as hell. Like little frustrations and shit. Instead of me getting in trouble, now this shit about to make me money. You know what I'm saying? Let me turn these frustrations into some shit that everybody can relate to. You know what I'm saying? And this is kind of like my way to get everybody to relate to my music.
I think that's different, and I think that's innovative, and I think you should stick to that.
That's what I'm gonna do. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
A lot of people go through a lot of bullshit all day. It's like they don't know how to voice or deal with that aggravation or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Instead, they get violent or do certain, shit that gets them in trouble or get them sent to jail, like I used to. So now I'm giving the people a way to like cope with that aggravation and shit.
Just by stopping by your page.
Yeah, stop by my music and listen to how aggravated shit makes me. You're not the only person going through that shit. Everybody aggravated.
It's a mutual. Music is spiritual.
Especially in this economy. How could you not be aggravated? Like, look what this nigga's doing us. This president's doing us. How could you not have frustration? So it's like, I try to voice like the frustrations of me trying to make it as a millionaire. That my journey of trying to become an entrepreneur millionaire, which is my dream to be a millionaire. Like, it's a frustrating process. Everything doesn't go your way. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long road to get to where I'm trying to go. It's like,
but they say persistence overcome resistance.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
We're not quitters, baby.
That's a fact. So as long as you stay focused and you keep it a positive mindset, you know what I'm saying? Sure. And a lot of things, one of the points that we brought up on previous shows is learning how to work with people.
That's right.
Collaborations is very important, because if people can't work with you, then you can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Starting to learn that's the trick to Instagram, actually, is showing love.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Word.
Social media.
Like you get on the gram and you show other people's projects and other people's music, love, and that you're gonna get that same energy back. So
That's
it's
a
like
fact.
you go on there hating, that's the energy you
people
gonna get back.
People don't get it. It's called social media.
Yeah,
so if you're not being social, how could you maximize?
It's anti-social
media.
media.
You know what I'm saying? How could you maximize? Like, even some people don't, they want to, watch other people's pages and see who they click and like on and who they commenting on. But you know, when you see me, everything I do is strategic on there. So if you see me commenting, it's strategic. If you see me showing love, it's a strategic love because those is my peoples. You feel what I'm saying? So, and that's what it is. So that's how we it don't cost much to support your person, your people's brand.
So
you know what I'm
but
saying?
then when you put out your project, you looking behind you like, why ain't nobody supporting me? Because you wasn't at the forefront of the being supportive movement with everyone else.
I got a whole page, my whole More Money Entertainment page. I'm constantly, you know what I'm saying, reposting all my people.
People on Instagram just clothes hating. That's clothes watching. Like, damn, he was wearing Renales today. Damn. Like, that's what you got on your phone for today, to see what I'm wearing and hate on me? No, go get up and go make it happen. You could be wearing the same thing. You could be doing the same thing. Like, people supposed to look at, I look at Instagram and all of these things is like, okay, this is a window into what I could have if I go get myself to go get it together. You know what I'm saying? You got to go get yourself together. How can you expect to do anything without a solid foundation under yourself? And hating on other people ain't a solid foundation at all. That's quicksand, man. You know what I'm saying? So get ready to lose.
That's a fact. Well, I appreciate you coming through, Lord.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Giving you
the music is coming this week. I swear to God. Okay? I promise you. I already got a few videos up of me like spitting live on my page or whatever, so go up there and feel that. But the real, like, on all of the platforms and stuff is coming this week. Visuals all this month. All right.
Looking forward. I'm looking forward to hearing a solid.
Blown away. All right.
I'm looking forward to hearing a solid
to use
project.
Your Apple Pay to download some stuff from me and spend some money with me. All right. Okay.
All right, Lord.
All right, baby. Thank you.
We got another artist in the building. Very good artist. This artist is so talented, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. 3N, a.k.a. Amen. Boy, Bottles Up in the building.
Bottles Up Entertainment.
That's a fact.
Yours truly, 3N in the building.
It's a party everywhere we go.
Party everywhere we go.
Fire. That's one of my favorite joints, son.
You already know, man. You already know.
That's a fact. Let the people know what's going on with you and what you're doing right now. I know. Where you from, man? Let them know where you from.
Originally, I'm from the beautiful state of Virginia Beach. Okay, the 757. Yes, down there with the greats of, you know what I mean, Timberland. The greats of.
Shout out to Tim.
Yeah, you already know. Pharrell, like we here.
Pharrell in the building.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm originally from. I have a lot of family in the New York area, but originally, I'm 757. Those who know 3 know that for facts.
That's a fact. So, you know, you got a project out right now that I think is amazing.
I appreciate that.
That party everywhere we go, featuring Sylv. And who's the other artist on
Shout out to Sylv the Don, Mia Bucks. You know what I'm saying?
Bucks.
She's an upcoming artist that's something to look at. Telling you in the near future, she's got tons of heat.
Yeah, she's talented. She's very talented. I follow her online.
Yep.
I follow
and
her.
Sylv the Don, he's well known out in Mount Vernon, so you already know how he give it up. We just came up together, collabed, and boom. That's just what it is.
That's what it is. Sylv was supposed to be here too, man. You know what I'm saying? But he mad busy, so it's hard for us to really like and sink in time. But he definitely gonna be up here. And I think the joint was fire. I think the joint is fire.
I appreciate it, man. You know, I appreciate it. I think we did a whole lot of work, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sean. He did the best that he could in this situation. Got us all in one venue.
That's a fact.
We just killed it.
Big shout out to Gunho Marciano.
You already know.
Sean, see you, homeboy.
You already
That's
know
what it is. You heard. So what's going on? What's next? What's next for 3N?
What's next for 3N? Oh man, listen.
Let the people know.
What's next for 3N is pretty much identifying himself as who he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to get nobody, you know, the wrong impression of who I am and the type of music I do. So I have to put my foot down on a certain genre that's called rock.
That's a fact.
You understand what I'm saying?
Rock,
and where
baby.
I'm at and what I'm doing, a lot of people in our people, we don't understand the history of rock and how we technically created this thing. Exactly. So it's like nobody really wants to take the torch So it leaves me to grab that thing and take it to the next level. And that's exactly what I'm going to do.
That's powerful how you just dropped some science right there, because a lot of people don't know in our community, when they hear soft rock or they hear rock and roll or hard rock, they automatically equate that with Europeans. Just the same way if a person speaks articulate and they speak correct, they automatically equate that with being European. But that's absolutely backwards, because the Europeans got it from us. So how can, like, that's you know what I'm saying? You can't, you actually being yourself
Exactly.
when you being real and right. You feel what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So when you talking about rock as a genre, our people are the ones, yes.
We created that.
Exactly.
So allow me to educate our people.
That's a fact.
You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm here for. I'm here to take rock to the next level, to be one of the first, and well, I wouldn't say one of the first, but definitely not the last one to actually be nominated in a rock category. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this thing is serious to me.
That's a
And I feel like it's a whole lot that we have to offer as a people. And for the fact that we overlook what we created, I feel at the end of the day, one of us is going to have to break this thing down. So since nobody else want to do it, look no further.
Breaking
And
barriers.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready all the way for it.
I think it's amazing because, like you said, it's not too many people doing that.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? There's not too many people that could jump in a genre with you and basically do what you do. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna be definitely the king of that joint.
I like that energy. I like that energy. I
Definitely the
feel,
king of that joint.
because it's like, to me, it's like, you know, we brought up, we hip hop. Some got R&B. You know what I'm saying? I could do all of that. And we got so many people that do that it's saturated at this
Exactly,
point.
at this point.
Somebody's got to break out.
a
So the
fact.
fact that I'm talented to sing, talented to rap, I'm also talented to rock, I might as well fit somewhere in a category in which we have not yet conquered in a very long time.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why I feel like, yeah, I could rock. I mean, yeah, I could rap. Yeah, I could sing. But you know what? I can do this, and I can do this very, very well. So I might as well just stay in my lane and keep it going. And that's exactly what I'm doing.
No, that's dope.
exactly what
That's
I'm
dope.
doing, man.
That's
You
dope.
know, I'm not playing the songs that I got coming out is gonna be boom. That's all I gotta say.
yeah.
That's all I gotta say. You know, I love the energy of party everywhere we go, but I have to remember that I don't want to get people the wrong impression of what type of music. Because a long time for a long time when Party Everywhere We Go dropped, I had so many people, like certified legit people with blue checks, hit me up like, yo, I could put you on this rap poster or this rap post or this rap blog or this rap this and rap this and rap that. And I'm like, bro, I appreciate it, but that's not the direction I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
But again, I put out something that showed that that's the direction I'm going. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I really confuse people. So now it's like, all right, I put that out there to show that I can do it. But now I got to draw people in and show what I really do.
That's a fact.
You get what I'm saying?
And I think more blogging, more interviews so people can hear your side. People can hear, like, yo, where you want to be. You know what I mean? Because people really don't really know too.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? They not. First of all, like you said, it's not too many people doing what you're doing. So for you to come to people, it's like, damn, they don't see, or actually at first they just, like you said, they on the surface. So it's like hard for them to see, and they thinking, okay, yeah, he's a rapper. It's like, nah, he's more than a rapper, bro.
They're gonna see.
Feel me?
The next single come out, they're gonna see.
know what
They're
I'm
gonna
saying?
see.
That's
They're
a
gonna see
fact.
from
That's
then
a
on.
fact.
They're gonna see, because now I don't wanna give people the wrong impression and be like, yo, this is what when I tell you I do this, you're gonna know I do this.
That's a fact.
And it's to a point that I don't even care if our people don't even listen to rock. That one rock artist that they're gonna listen to is me. So if they don't know nothing else, they're gonna be like, I don't know this, but I listen to 3 though.
That's what
We getting
that's what it
somewhere.
should. That's what it should
getting
be though,
somewhere.
because that's
You know
how
what I'm
they
saying?
people be with them.
Yeah,
you know
we
what I
getting
mean.
somewhere,
It should
so-
be that way. Like, I don't listen to rock, but 3, I'm on it.
Yeah.
Feel me? That's how it's supposed to be. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I want to know, like, how long you been doing music, just in general. Like,
honestly, I've been doing music for a few years. I'd say maybe 4 years. About 4 years. 4 years. Been doing music about 4 years. You
that's
know,
a fact.
I just sat back and I'm like, you know what? Shoot, let me learn how to do this and learn how to do it. Because for a long time, I was behind the scenes. I was learning how to mix. I was learning how to master. You know, then I used Pro Tools. Then I went from Pro Tools to Ableton Live. And then from Ableton Live, I started looking at checking out all the VSTs and the CLAs and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, after that, I was just like, you know what? Shoot, if I know how to do this, what else? Then I used Fruity Loops. After that, it was learning how to make productions. You started learning beats, started making beats, started getting serious after that, man. And after that, it was like, you know what? I know how to do this, but I don't know how to perfect it. So what do? Now I get involved with certain, you know, engineers. You know, shout out to Ali. That's one dude.
Love Ali.
You know what I'm saying?
Ali is dope.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know what? Let me get in the studio and get it mixed the right way. Let me get in the studio and get it mastered the right way.
Yeah.
And after that, my song quality, my sound quality just started going up.
You putting them 10,000 hours in.
You know what I'm saying?
Putting them 10. I remember.
You gotta put them in.
I remember when me and Sylv shot the. We shot the.
Oh man!
New York Exchange video and all that.
Talk about it, man.
I said,
Talk about it.
Man, because I just came home from prison and I was like, damn, you was the baby, you had the baby face, but I had remembered you from before. And I was like, oh yeah. So we definitely in the building. Music is definitely talented. My whole team is talented. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Bottles Up Entertainment.
Right,
you know what I mean? We got more music coming for y'all, more Money Entertainment as well. And yeah, man, thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate you, bro. That's a fact, King. You already know that, man.
Appreciate you too, man. You already know, man. Appreciate you too.
It's the God Out podcast, man. We rocking and we rolling, man. You heard?
Alrighty, you know, Shake, Rattle, and Roll, 3N, man. Gonna be here. Be ready.
Oh yeah, plug in your social medias and all that. You know you can't leave them without.
Can't. You can find me at B, which is Big Amen 4024 at Instagram. You can find me there. You can find me at AM3N Music World. That's Twitter. You can find me at Amen on YouTube and Facebook. I'm pretty much everywhere. You Google me, I'm there.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Word up, bro. Thanks for coming through, bro.
No doubt, man. Been a pleasure, man. Stay tuned, man.
It's
We got a whole lot going
everywhere we
on.
go, man.
Party everywhere we go. I'm here.
That's a
Trust
fact.
me, I ain't going nowhere.
Bottles
Get
up.
used to me.